First off, it's what I keep on telling our guys, man, every league game's tough. Anybody can beat anybody in our league, and I think that's very true when you watch all across, our league play in the MAC. Man, it's very, very, very jumbled. Got a lot of respect for what Stan Heath does and what he's doing there at Eastern Michigan. He's doing a great job. Obviously, they had Tyson Acuff. We knew we were going to have our hands full with him. And then I felt like they were really going to try to get us on the glass. They're big, they're strong, they're athletic. And we did a great job. We out-rebounded them in the game. I thought we did a really nice job on Acuff because he's a handful. I mean, he's the leading scorer in the MAC for a reason. And that put us in good position to win the game. I thought offensively, first half was a little rough. I just thought we were choppy and give Eastern Michigan a lot of credit for their defense. But at the same time, I just felt like we were really choppy with our offense. Our movement wasn't good. Our execution wasn't great. Thought it got a lot better in the second half. And I think for our team to continue to grow, man, we just got to be able to put 40 minutes together. We had a double-digit lead in the first half. Eastern Michigan responds. What's your response to adversity? Are you going to get tighter? Are you going to get better with your execution? Or are you going to, get further apart? I thought we got further apart during that time. Second half, we got up again, and they responded again. It's what teams do. And I thought we had a better response there. It was a one-point game, and we finished the game really, really strong. So had great performances out of Eian Elmer and Bryson Boltman. I thought those two guys were tremendous for us tonight.
Second half, you were up on them. They made a run, and there was a point where you called a timeout. It wasn't like your team was in freak mode or anything, but you called a timeout, and they kind of came back out, hit a couple big shots, and went on from there. Is this kind of the maturation that you're expected to see, or are they a little bit ahead of schedule on that? And what did you tell them during that timeout?
Yeah, I told them, listen, we've shown that we can be a good team. We were up by 10 at one point. Didn't have the right response in the first half. I didn't think to adversity. In the second half, that's what we talked about in the huddle. Hey, what's our response? All right, this is going to determine our fate as a team this year. And I thought our guys got tighter. I thought our older guys did a really nice job. Like Boltman, he controlled the game in a lot of ways. He did. He had 6 assists. I think he should have had 1 turnover. I think they credited Cooper for that one, but he threw that ball out of bounds. But he was tremendous. I thought Andy in the second half was much better as well. Just his poise was better. And they did a good job on Andy. He gave them a lot of credit, man. They did a nice job. But, I think our guys just stuck with it. I just kind of reminded – we drew up a play out of timeout, scored on it, got a layup, and then we get a 3 the next possession. And we got stops during that time as well. So, I thought the zone was good for us as well kind of towards the end. I thought that threw them out of rhythm.
Coach, you mentioned Tyson Acuff. Darwishi Hunter was the primary defender on him for much of the first half and most of the second before he went down with injury. What adjustments did you make to limit Acuff after losing Hunter?
Man, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. Darwishi he gives us size. He's 6'5", and he did a great job on Acuff. And then all of a sudden he goes down with it's contact sport. Things happen, and he'll be fine. He'll be back tomorrow practice. He's fine. No concussion or anything like that. But he just couldn't see. And so we challenged those guys. Listen, who else is going to step up? I thought Ipsaro and Cooper both did a really nice job on him, and our bigs did a really good job. Coach Heath does a great job putting him in a lot of different positions to score, whether it's ball screens, handoffs, off-screen action. So your bigs got to do a great job of helping on ball screens. And I thought Andy, Reese, Jaquel were tremendous in their ball screen defense in that second half.
Coach, 11 turnovers, even though technically by the numbers you didn't win the turnover battle. How does limiting those help you guys get into a flow offensively like you did in the second half?
Yeah, I felt like we should have had less. We had some silly ones, So I told our guys, when they got back in the game, we had a couple turnovers in a row. We could have extended it. That's what great teams do. Every possession matters, and that's where we got to continue to mature, right? And when we do that, man, we'll go to a different level. You can't relax. Right, you can't relax. You have a little bit of prosperity, and all of a sudden you get comfortable. Then you get humbled very quickly, and But I think as long as we continue to take care of the ball and we rebound the ball, we'll be able to compete And I think we can win a lot of games as long as we do those two things. Because the thing that makes us hard to guard is I don't know who you prepare for. Obviously, Andy's really talented, but like tonight, Elmer goes for 23. You know, like you've had Ryan Mabry go for 20. You've had Brad Dean go for 20. You've had Ipsaro go for 20. You've had Cooper go for 18. You've had all these guys. And we got 9 guys that can do it. So I just don't know, like, whereas in Eastern Michigan, it's like, hey, it starts with Acuff, right? And they got some other guys. Lovejoy's a good player. But, like, there's a really, really, really good player up top. And as they should. But for us, it's kind of like, man, we got a lot of different dudes, man. It's different guys, different nights. And our guys, they're embracing that. They play for each other. We talk about 32 strong in our program, just all the people that are around our program and our players. And I think our guys understand that that's the strength of our team. We're the deepest team in the MAC.
It's felt like in those first couple of MAC games, the 2 MAC losses, those key possessions, whether on offense or defense, didn't really go your way, and it's been entirely different these last couple of games, whether getting stops or buckets. What do you think has been the difference there in getting those key possessions?
I think just maturation. Guys just getting more comfortable. You know, league play is harder. It ramps up even more. We all know each other really well. So we know each other's tendencies and what to take away. And so then you really got to execute, right? You really got to tighten up your stuff. And I think the other thing that's gotten a lot better for us, our ball screen coverage, and it starts with Andy, has been a lot better. Listen, he's scored the ball against Buffalo. He was tremendous, but like his ball screen defense, which doesn't show up in a stat sheet, that wins, right? And that's what I told him. I was like, dude, like after Western Michigan, I was like, we got to make a choice. Do you just want to score points? Every losing team has a leading scorer. Every losing team across the country. Do you want to win? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, well, then you need to block out. You need to hedge ball screens, things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Those things ultimately win, and he's really latched onto that, and so has Jaquel and Reese. And we're a lot better at the point of the screen and ball screen defense, and I think that's really helped us.
You think this is the most confident this group has been at this point in the year?
For sure. Obviously, listen, I preach to these guys all about process, but you do need a result here once in a while, right, to get that extra level of buy-in and confidence in it. And I think our guys are starting to see, man, like we could compete with anybody. We really can. We got a lot of different guys. Some of our freshmen are getting a heck of a lot better, and they're getting more confident. And it's just like, man, now we got even more dudes who can do it. So I think absolutely this is the most confident we've been.
Overall, how are you physically at this point?
Man, as every team is, nobody's going to be 100%. It's a war of attrition. You feel like, like tomorrow we can't take a day off. We'll have a mental day is what I would call it. Like we'll just do film and walk through things on the floor and to try to keep these guys fresh. Because you want to be at your best, obviously, in March, right? You're not trying to win the championship right now today. But, like Weishi obviously got hit today. Evan's been dealing with his ankle. You got Dean that's still out. Andy's got an ankle issue. Jaquel's got an ankle. I mean, it's just, listen, but we're not the only team. Everybody's got it. And, we just got to be smart. Our guys got to treat their lives like pros, not just what you do, between – whatever we're practicing right now because we're in J-term, but 1 to 3, it's about what are you doing outside 1 to 3? Are we getting extra treatment in? Are we getting extra, stretches, just different things, man, because it's a long, long season.
Even going back before you came here, size inside, especially, for a power game was, hard to come by. And it actually looks like right now that you're developing some depth in that area. How enjoyable is it to be able to have several people, and not only have several people that you can run in and out of there, but there's some diversity and versatility in the kind of things that they do.
Yeah, we're deep up front. Like I look at Coach Summers, who does our great job of developing our big guys. I look down at his end. Pre-practice we'd always do skill development for 15 minutes, and man, we look different. I mean, we're just bigger. I mean, you got Andy over there, you got Reese over there, you got Jaquel, you got Jackson Katecki, who I'm telling you is really, really good. His time's coming. It's gonna happen for this year. I don't know when it'll be, but he's he's good. So we got 4 guys that are 6'8 plus, and we're able to play those guys a little bit together now. We're starting to morph that just so we don't absolutely get demolished on the glass. So we can play small, we can play big, and all those big guys do different things. You got Reese who can shoot. You got Jaquel who's a lead around the rim. You got Andy who's a load down low. You just got different things that those guys can do, and I think it gives teams a lot of different looks.
I was just going to mention, too, you've got Boltman listed as a guard, but in a given game, he's the leading rebounder.
Yeah, he could play big. Eian is 6'6", 6'7" on the wing, and he's big. So now all of a sudden, like, you don't feel like you're taking a knife to a gunfight. You know what I mean? Like, let's call a spade. Like we have some bodies. You know what I mean? Like we have some athleticism. And that gives you a chance, just not to get – and we're heading the right direction on the glass. We out-rebounded Buffalo. We out-rebounded Eastern tonight, and hopefully that'll continue to maintain going forward. But we've made it – the reason I started Eian had nothing to do with scoring. He scored 23 tonight, but he was our leading rebounder analytically. I told the team after Western Michigan, I'm tired of getting our tail kicked on the glass. Tired of it. It doesn't win. We're not going. We have to shoot the absolute heck out of the ball in order just to have a chance to win when you get out rebounded like that. So, again, I think we have different guys and different size at different positions. Man, that really helps.
What did it feel like to put back-to-back wins together? Adding another one on to a pretty impressive performance the other night. Seemed like you actually did it in a little bit of a different way.
It feels good, especially starting off 0-2 on 2 games that we should have won. But, we didn't let that keep us down. So we got right back to it, trusted the process, and we've been going into games and practices with good energy. So, yeah.
As far as your own game, do you feel like you've been, going along, picking up, adding more to it as it getting into a rhythm, as it were, as you go along?
Yeah, I would say so. Especially over the last couple of games, the coaches have really put a lot of trust in me, and also I've had a lot of more confidence in myself, my teammates. So, that just comes with it. Like the performance comes with the confidence and the trust that I'm given.
What about playing Eastern Michigan today appealed to your style of play? I mean, did you feel comfortable against them and the way they play?
I wouldn't really say I came in here looking to score. I mean, I just let the game come natural to me. So, I don't know. I just had a good game. My teammates were giving me the ball. I was able to make plays on offense and defense.
You mentioned your defense. What were you seeing on the defensive side of the ball that let you have such a big impact?
With Eastern Michigan, I would say they have like one really good player that they go through. So we just wanted to keep the ball out of his hands the most and try to make other players make plays and score. And that worked out. We kept them to like 30% for the game from the field, so that worked.
And we talked about defense, obviously, but over the last few games, you've been rebounding the ball pretty consistently. You had 6 boards today. How has that part of your game kind of rounded out over the last couple of weeks?
Rebounding is just like effort, So when I'm out on the court, I just try to go get any ball that I can. Yeah.
You've made a lot of highlight reel plays already since being here, and if anyone followed you during high school, that was something obviously that you did quite often as well. Is that something that you can sense is going to happen in the moment when you go in late in that first half for the chase down block? Do you sense that that's going to be a big play when you're going up?
I don't know, man. Big plays just like call my name, and I just like really go try to make them. That block shot was perfect because my teammate walled him up. He had to change the shot. Me, I'm a high flyer, so I'm go get that.
One thing in high school to be able to go in there and slam some down and do some highlight type stuff, but to get into D1 basketball, conference play and everything, that's another thing. Yet you seem to be doing pretty well at playing a physical type game. Did you feel like you would be able to come in there, that you have the physical skills to be able to come in and play some power basketball?
I'll say definitely. I'm very athletic. That's nothing like that's new, but the physicality part is just something you got to embrace. You know, it's people that run from it, but me, I just don't want to go out there and let anybody bully me.